Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A question and answer video with us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching.
Booyaka, booyaka. I am Mr. Parkin, and this sitting next to me is NJ, I think. This doesn't usually do stuff like this.
What's up?
Whose t-shirt is that, by the way?
HBK.
Oh, then why did I think it was a Rey Mysterio t-shirt? I don't know why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get on to this Q&A. If you haven't asked any questions and you want to, please put them in the comment section below. Do not put them on Facebook or Twitter.
Sorry, HBK, you're not Rey Mysterio.
No, it would have been a good Rey Mysterio. I mean, put a mask on him, cover that ugly face of his. I'm joking. I'm only messing around. HBK love, boys. I'm only messing around.
Great start to the Q&A. Question one.
A controversial start to the Q&A. Jon Snow, our first question. How long after Roman Reigns wins his first world title will the internet turn on him? The next night on Raw, probably. Actually, no, the week after, because the night on Raw, usually they support all the...
I'm not going to lie. I've already turned on him. Of all the Shield things, he's not number one. He's not even number two for me anymore. Thing with him, I've said this in past Q&As, his push has been very dominant apart from the Orton feud. That's what's turned me against him so quickly, because he doesn't seem to get the beating of a lifetime or anything from that. Yes, he's injured now, but that's accidents happen. But I'd say I've already turned on him. I still like him, but I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns fan. But for internet fans, as the community call him, I think once he's became champion and continues to get this dominant push, it will happen then.
Yeah, no, I must admit, if WWE do keep going down this route of booking him like a monster, yep, they will turn him. Do you remember what happened with Sheamus? Everyone was happy he won the Rumble. Well, they weren't, because they thought Jericho was going to win the Rumble, but they thought they had a new star, and then they booked him like a monster on SmackDown, and what happened 4 months later? Exactly. Wiramu Kearney. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Favorite tag teams in ROH, TNA, and WWE. You can only pick 5 from each company, past, present.
Oh, you didn't know? New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, New Age Outlaws are a good tag team. The Hardy Boys, WWE, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys. I think we've got to include those 3 in there because they're both pretty good. And we got a 5th tag team to choose from. I was going to go with the Hart Foundation or the Rockers or LOD. There are so many good tag teams. I can't really pick, to be honest.
Kane and Big Show. Not all their runs, not all of them. Probably the early ones.
Yes. Okay. What about TNA? You had Beer Money was a good one.
The Wolves now.
The Wolves. Well, I suppose the Wolves are fine. So you got Beer Money, the Wolves. I suppose you could say
Team 3D.
Team 3D, I suppose. You could also say
Motion Machine Guns. Yeah,
Motion Machine Guns were a good tag team. Generation Me were a good tag team. I was just never a massive fan of their Spot Monkey style.
Romance.
No, Bad Influence. They were a good tag. And ROH. Well, the Briscoes.
Oh.
Do you remember how good the Briscoes were? All Night Express. Kenny King and Rhett Titus were a good tag team. When we were watching, the World's Greatest Tag Team were good when we were watching. I'm trying to think of other tag teams. Like the Wolves were the American Wolves. I mean, Davey Richards and the others were pretty boring, but they were one of the top tag teams. Elgin isn't Elgin. You just count him as a tag team.
With someone, yes.
Yeah, Michael Elgin is just a tag team because he's 2 men. So yeah, we'll count Michael Elgin. There are other ones, but we'll just keep. Oh, what about Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly when they were a tag team? They were pretty entertaining.
Who?
Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah, exactly. That's all you really need to know. Tim Grace. Would you like to see WWE make the best of WWE Draft DVD? That could be a good concept, as it was full of surprises and stuff. But
the biggest surprise that I look forward to on that DVD is John Cena going to SmackDown and back to Raw.
And do you know what? If you type into the YouTube search box British Fist reaction to the draft or something like that, you can see his reaction to John Cena going for SmackDown and to Raw and how he was happy 1 minute and then horrified the next. It'd be worth a watch, trust me. Do you think if WWE had to stay with Spike TV and that the USA Network would have signed TNA? No, I mean, why would the USA Network want to sign TNA? I mean, it was an upcoming company. It wasn't like it was an established company. It was an upcoming company. Whereas WWE was just there.
True, and TNA may have produced better ratings in the past, but I feel that even back then, WWE was still getting the better ratings.
Oh, they were always getting the better ratings, even though they went down to like a 2.3 at one point? Something like that, yeah. Anyway, Thunder Night 19. Do you think WWE fans wouldn't have been so critical of Triple H's marriage to Stephanie McMahon if it wasn't known for his backstage politics long before the two of them were even dating? I don't know. The thing is with Triple H is he took a lot of shit. I mean, with that whole thing where Nash, Hall, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H all hugged in the ring and everything. Well, Nash and Hall went to WCW and HBK was injured or something, and so Triple H got a lot of the shit. So I imagine that one of the reasons why he's doing all this backstage politics stuff and protecting his spot is because he knows how easy it is just to go back down to the bottom from what happened with the whole curtain call thing. So, you know, there is a little bit of history there, but, you know, I don't know. You give your opinion on it. I don't know.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a Triple H fan, and I know how it must have looked when the Stephanie McMahon thing came in and the way that the fans portrayed him for what he's done. But I feel that no matter what they say about that step, the backstage stuff and him being so knowledgeable and what he's brought for the company, not just for himself, even though he secured it for a good amount of years, he still eventually produced other great qualities elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny that he married Stephanie and then all of a sudden he was getting this like massive push when he was dating her. It's kind of a coincidence. I'm just saying, Triple H was a good wrestler. He had a good character at the time. He would never have got pushed anywhere near as much as he had done unless he married Stephanie, in my opinion, because Vince McMahon saw this as a good opportunity for someone with Stephanie McMahon who can take his heritage onwards, which is why he got pushed so much, which is why Vince McMahon wanted him to stay and why Triple H has stayed, because he's been given incentives such as, I don't know, I can probably half own this company with my wife in the future. Jibri Bell. Mr. Parkin, thank you. What are the most funniest moments in soccer?
All of it. It's all a joke.
Yes, it's all a joke. The most funniest moments in soccer are when foreign twats dive to get free kicks and make it seem like that they're injured when in actual fact they haven't been touched. Or when someone gets slapped in the face like that, literally, and goes down as if someone has just punched them in the face. They're the funniest moments in soccer. Anyway. Robert Hernandez. Who would you use for 8 versus 8 Survivor Series match against each other's team, only the current and NXT roster? That doesn't make too much sense, but we know what you're saying there. So an 8 versus 8 Survivor Series match. Do you want to be WWE and I'll be NXT?
Okay, so one at a time. I'd have, obviously, they're going to want the best versus the best.
Yes.
So, John's.
Right, let's put our hands out like that so we know how much. So you've got John Cena, Adrian Neville, NXT Champion.
Then we're going to want Roman Reigns.
I'd counteract him with Baron Corbin. He's 7 foot tall and he's a monster.
Then we're probably going to want, at the time, Randy Orton to keep him up there.
Okay, well, I would counteract that if I can reach with Sami Zayn.
Then we're probably going to have, at this time, let's put Bray Wyatt in there.
Oh, to counteract that, definitely Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. I know they're a tag team, but Cassidy is 7 foot tall and Enzo Amore is his manager.
So I put another one in there.
No, because Enzo Amore is the manager. So he won't be involved in the match.
I want Cesaro.
Okay, now use this finger now. To counteract Cesaro, who would I use to counteract Cesaro? I would use Tyler Breeze, because I know I want him on my team anyway. So
then I'm going to have...
Prince Pretty. That's Tyler Breeze.
I think I'm going to put... I'm trying to keep Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins out for a match, but I think for the qualityness, I'm going to put Dean Ambrose in there.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. Just use my own NXT alumni against me. Who else could I put on the NXT roster? They're not on the WWE roster yet, so I'm going to use 2 people, Connor and Victor, the Ascension.
Okay, I'm going to have...
You don't have to have a tag team. You can just...
I'm trying to avoid tag team. I'm going to put... I'm trying to avoid the one that I find freaking annoying. I'm going to put... The Big Show!
That's a damn good shout. So as for my final pick... Oh, God, I'm trying to think of a dark horse here. Because they just... I don't want to put Kenta in there. Because they just signed him, Kevin Steen.
Counter him, even though people, you're going to hate this, I'm probably missing someone. Rusev!
Rusev.
Going after your
Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
The guy who you adored in ROH.
Oh, I did.
Right, so that's 8 versus 8, and we're now creepily getting a bit homosexual with our hands, so we're just going to move them away. Yeah, anyway. So, is that good enough for you? Because I think that's a good... I can't remember who I said, but I think that would be a good match. Mucky Fingers 16. Yeah, speaking of Mucky Fingers. Kevin Steen, success in WWE or fail? That's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
Indeed. I think the WWE keep teasing that they're breaking the PG era a bit, but then they undo it again. I think Kevin Steen may have a bit of a, come in and dominate everywhere, a bit like Karma did, a bit like maybe Rusev, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere where fans are going to be hoping it for. Yeah,
I think a lot of fans are going to look at Kevin Steen and they're going to think, oh my god, he's going to be the controversial, Stone Cold type character or whatever he was in ROH, but I don't think Kevin Steen is going to be that kind of character, and I do wonder if Kevin Steen isn't that kind of character, whether he can really be any kind of standout character, because if he isn't, he's just going to fall in with the crowd, unless they have some kind of gimmick for him. I don't really know, but as for Kevin Steen, he's a good talent in my opinion, with the right character, which is like a sort of, added on version of him, or Kevin Steen plus, so to speak. I think he could go somewhere with it. But if not, I think he's just destined to fail. I really do. I don't like saying that because I think Kevin Steen is a damn good talent. But it's just the truth in my opinion. The Neon Brick. Hi, British Fist. From the NXT roster, who do you think would make it to the main event? Do you know what? I look at the NXT roster right now, and like I said, I've said this before, I just see mid-carders. Like Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd, people like that, I just think are destined to be mid-carders. I look at a guy like Baron Corbin, and he's 7 foot and he's about 300 pounds and he looks exactly like the kind of guy that you'd expect to see at the top. I remember seeing it with Roman Reigns. I remember seeing it with Rusev when he was in, and just looking at the book, the way they booked Rusev. So there aren't many main eventers right now, but I think WWE, what they need to do first is make the people into main eventers who they've already brought up from NXT. So I don't necessarily think they need main eventers as of this moment in time.
This is one thing that I want to bash NXT, even Triple H, on the head with. I've said this in a past Q&A. They brought up all the guys that the WWE know are going to have a chance of becoming main eventers, leaving NXT with the dolls that they're going to try and form into something for the future of WWE. But as Mr. Parkin just said, none of them are like the main eventers who have already gone up.
No, just not. Do you think John Cena will take over Ric Flair's 16 world titles, and who do you think will be the one who beats Brock Lesnar? Yeah, eventually John Cena is going to take over Ric Flair's 16 world titles.
No!
Not even a giant button can solve this one, NJ.
No!
And who do you think will be the one that beats Brock Lesnar? We said this in the past Q&A, probably Roman Reigns.
I'm really struggling to think. There are some fans who have seen in past videos who think Daniel Bryan. But I don't think he's at the place. Yes, it'll probably be his returning feud, but Lesnar should be against who the WWE have as the best right now.
Yeah, which is Roman Reigns. Renegade Man 83. Who do you think will end Rusev's undefeated streak? Cena. We're in WrestleMania. They're building Rusev up for WrestleMania against Cena, and that is where Cena will end his streak.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. At the same time, I think that it might get given to the Big Show in this feud, but if not, it will be Cena.
Name 3 to 4 wrestlers that should never have been TNA Champion, and name 3 or 4 wrestlers that should never held the belt should have been TNA Champion. Okay.
I've got one. Let me see one.
Yeah. Eric Young. Yeah, I agree, Eric Young. Chris Sabin was one that should never have held the belt, in my opinion. And that's really it. Those 2 are the only 2 I really think shouldn't have held the belt. There are some others, but I think they at least have a little bit of legitimacy to hold the TNA World title. Go on.
I was going to say that British champion, but...
Oh, Magnus, yeah. He should have been champion, but it was a shit belt. And name 3 or 4 wrestlers who never held the belt should have been TNA champion.
Never held the belt.
I don't know. I mean, people may say Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, but I wonder if they would have been decent as a TNA champion. I'm not sure they would have been. Any others you can think of on the top of your head?
Again, I've not really been watching it, but He's already held it, so no. I was about to say Mr. Kennedy.
I was going to say James Storm, and then I realised I gave it to him for a couple of weeks. But in terms of a long-term champion, I'd say James Storm is the top of that list, in my opinion. Do you think WWE halted Cesaro's push in favour of Roman Reigns because WWE feared he could be another Daniel Bryan and they wanted to push their own guy who fits the WWE mould compared to a guy that fits the description of what the internet fans like? You know, internet fans love their indie guys. You know, I think it was halted because of Paul Heyman. They wanted to keep Paul Heyman on TV, and they knew they couldn't put Paul Heyman with a babyface Cesaro. So I think Paul Heyman was what pretty much halted Cesaro's push. Because if you notice, as soon as Cesaro went with Paul Heyman, all of a sudden his push just stopped.
There's that theory, and there's also a theory, like this is said, that they had all concentration on Roman Reigns, and there was not really a place to bring Cesaro up at the same time. So obviously they're thinking, who shall we hold back for now? I bet when Roman Reigns is there, I think hopefully Cesaro will start to get the push.
Well, Roman Reigns is injured, and it's not like Cesaro's getting any kind of major push.
But the counter to that is that Roman Reigns has recently said that he'd be back sooner than later.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be up for a good 3 or 4 months. Anyway, but I don't know. I don't think WWE holds Cesaro's push in favour of Roman Reigns. I don't see why they can't push more than one guy.
They should.
I mean, they should, but why they can't push more than one guy, I don't know. I just think it was his association with Heyman that kind of screwed it up, in my opinion. UH Type 1. I read somewhere that Ryback and RVD were released from WWE. Is this true? And if so, do you think this move is good or bad for business? I believe Ryback was injured. I don't think he's been released. I don't know why they'd release Ryback. It's a bit silly after all the effort they put into his character before.
With Ryback, I'm sorry, fans. As much as he had the feed me more and Ryback rules could have worked, I think he could be released and people be like, oh, because they bailed him. And as for RVD,
well, he's off smoking his weed, isn't he? So that's probably why he's not been showing up on WWE TV.
There's that big count. You cannot get enough of that. But my big thing about him is that I've really not cared about his return. I'm like, if he didn't ever come back, I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Sorry, RVD fans, ECW fans. He's just not really done anything for the company.
This is shit. I think should really be that. What do you think about JBL being Bo Dallas's manager? Seeing Bo and JBL do a victory lap around the ring would be very entertaining.
He's inspirational! Oh, he's love it.
No, I'd really rather just have JBL be Bo Dallas's dick sucker on commentary, kind of like Cole was for Miz during the time, to be honest with you. Okay,
I think something needs to save Bo Dallas, because even though I felt Bo Dallas losing his streak could have turned him as a frustrated heel, but they didn't. I think something needs to save him. A manager who could root for him during all this, a comedy kind of manager to point him out more. I think yes. A commentator who could get them off the announce table could have been great, but I think JBL is great where he is. As for a manager I'd pick, to be honest, right now I'm struggling to think of someone.
No one. He doesn't need a manager. He can just do his own talking. The whole Bo Leave thing doesn't really work if you have a manager with you, does it? It's like you don't see like world famous sports athletes doing these kind of like inspirational videos and their managers with them or talking for them.
Bring back Washington.
God damn it. Yeah. No, because you probably get fired for another racist joke or something, or a rape joke or whatever the hell he did. Anyway, we're gonna end this question with a good personal friend of ours, the Nature Girl 30. Sup guys? Boom. Would you consider Roman Reigns to have slight similarities to Randy Orton? I kind of see where you're coming from, but I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel not. I feel that maybe there is some resemblance. Tell me why you think that. But right now, I think that Roman Reigns is probably more of a Batista powerhouse, storming stuff, and Orton's just unique in some way.
Yeah, no, I don't see the similarities really. Maybe in their promos, but that's really about it. Daniel, you were always looking to the left, in brackets my right, when you're doing Q&As. What are you looking at? I was looking at a screen with the questions on, but now we've got them up here, so you don't really see me looking that way anymore. Maybe I was looking at the TV. I don't really know. I can't really distinguish my right from my left because I'm feeling really stupid right now. NJ, why did you shave off your stash and beard? This is a good question. Why did you shave off your stash and beard?
Simple. I'm not a heel.
That's a good one. Plus, it's nice feeling stubble. The ladies love a good bit of stubble, don't they, NJ?
I think so.
Especially British stubble. Awkward British stubble. Anyway, we're going to end the Q&A there. Thank you very much for all the people who asked questions, and keep asking them in the comment section below, please.
And for Mr. Parkin and me in a Rey Mysterio shirt, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.